Hi, my name's Josh Olson. Like Todd said, I'm the Senior Region Bridge Engineer for the Aberdeen region in northeast South Dakota. I'm going to talk about flood sealing bridge decks. It's something different that we're trying. So for majority of this room, you don't know South Dakota. This is our region map. So I'm in the red up here. Like Todd said, it's cold a lot of the time of the year. So we divide our state into 4 regions. Each region is roughly the same amount of miles, roughly the same amount of bridges, plus or minus a few here and there. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is some of my weather. So the region is broken up into 3 areas. The areas are the ones that do mowing, construction observation, stuff like that. But the Huron area right here tends to be a little bit drier, a little bit warmer, not as cold. The Watertown area, the one on the interstate, they tend to be a little bit wetter, a little bit cooler. And then Aberdeen, we just get cold. So our current practice right now is we're doing polymer chip seals. That's how we've been sealing our decks for years and years and years. Partly this is practice, partly this is each region bridge crew is set up independently. We all try and be the same, but we're not. It's a bunch of decisions that compounded over many, many years. So each crew has different capabilities. So my crew was not able to flood seal decks until recently. So our practice at the time was to place a polymer chip seal. So we started having issues, just like everything. We were starting to see within a few years, some of these would just peel. And they would peel whole lanes. Part of it was sound, part of it wasn't. What's going on? We've got research going on right now. They're still ongoing. And hopefully we'll have some answers. But in the meantime, this is something that is not ideal when you're known for a certain famous week in August every year, just up the road with a bunch of bicycles or motorbikes. And 2 of my crew ride bikes, and yeah, it's not a good situation. It's like riding on gravel. So we've just been having issues, and it's something that they're starting to compound a little bit. They're becoming more prevalent. The one on the very right here, this is only a 3-year-old polymer chip seal. It's not ideal. It's not lasting the 15 years like we're shooting for. So because of that, I started looking into some different potential options. So like anything in leadership, they always tell you, put some goals down. Well, that's what I did. So in order to do something like this, I wanted it to be cost effective, long service life, environmentally friendly, and easy to use. Cost effective to me is comparing versus what we're doing now, and is this a potentially better option? Is it a cheaper option? Is it more durable? Is it easier? Can I do it more timely? Those are some of the things I look at for cost effective. The long service life, I wanted to match what we're doing or exceed it. So that 10 to 15 years is what we typically choose for our polymer chip seals. So I wanted it to get there, be as long, if not longer. Environmentally friendly. I didn't want it to be complicated. A lot of special procedures to do, plugging deck drains, things like that. Need to be easy, quick, something a maintenance crew can do. And then last thing, easy to use. Simple is best. That's what I've found doing this for as many years as I've been doing it. So. The options I looked at were silanes, siloxanes. Right now we have 19 approved products on our approved products list. crack sealants, other penetrating sealers, polymer chip seal overlays. We have 5 approved epoxies and polymers, and do nothing. So at the time I was looking at this, it was 2017, 2018 is when I really started noticing we had an issue. I didn't have a whole lot of options. So I did some crack sealing, and I did some let polymer chip seals go through with a contractor, and I kind of did a do nothing approach. So then, was it 2020 you approached me? Something like that. Alchemco approached the Office of Bridge Design with a new product. Wanted to try it, see if we would, try it. It kind of just fell into my lap is the best way to say it. Right time, right place. Sometimes you get lucky. I just happened to get lucky. So they had 3 products at the time, 20-year, 25-year, and a 30-year service life. It's a flood sealant. It penetrates 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch into your concrete deck. What it also does is, and this is the thing that really sold me on it, is it creates a gel. I'm not a chemist, so don't ask. You'll have to ask the Alchemco folks. I know they're here. And every time you get water, rain, whatever, on your bridge deck, it creates the gel again. It reseals your crack. That was like huge to me. I don't have to crack seal. Yes. Win. So when we started this, it was a 5-step process. That's what I call it. Alchemco called it a 4-step. You had to wash your bridge. And before you washed it, you actually had to sweep it. So there's actually a couple extra steps in there. Washing got the greases off, the oils, any other solvents. You wanted it down to concrete. Then we would apply the waterproofing agent and allow it to dry. And applying it and allowing it to dry, you would get this texture. It felt like soap. So that way we knew it was dry, it was down, it was done, ready to go. Then we had to wash it again. Washing takes time because depending on what time of year you're in, your temperatures, all that, it can be very, very quick. It can be very, very slow. What we found is we tend to do it in the springtime, usually late April to mid-June. That's where I tend to get the best temperatures, 60 to 80 degrees for highs. My winds aren't that bad, but then I'm always playing springtime rains, so it, bouncing around some of that stuff. So after you allow it to dry, then you applied a accelerating agent. You had to allow that to dry. Then you had to mist it. So the last 2 steps have now changed from when we initially started this. So now it is only a 2-step process. You wash your bridge deck, allow it to dry. You apply your waterproofing agent, allow it to dry, and then wash it, and you're done. What this has done is it's speeded us up tremendously. 2022, I got very, very aggressive with this. I wanted to do 14 bridges. We got 6 done because of the amount of steps that we had to go through. This last year we did 9. We got everything done, and we were done like 3 weeks early. So we had to choose a bridge to apply this on, and they were pushing me to do it on a bad bridge. I was like, I'm not going to do it on a bad bridge. The bridge is pretty much done. We'll replace it. I want to do it on a good bridge. Good bridges keep good bridges in good condition longer. You extend your inventory longer. So what I did is this bridge is on US 12 by Millbank. It was a fairly new bridge when we did this. It was 7 years old. It was built in 2013. You can see on the underside I had some transverse cracking with efflorescence. Very, very common on new bridges. This is an older picture. There's actually a few more cracks in there now, or when we did this. So we had Alchemco come out and do this as a test. They used a backpack sprayer And I don't know if this will. So Jimmy, we called him Florida Man because he had Florida stories. He's doing it with the sprayer. So this took about an hour for him to apply. The bridge, I believe, is 220 feet long. We did it 1/2 at a time. You can see we're doing the second day with this one. The westbound lane is what we did the previous day. You can see how the product actually came up and was creating that gel through some of the cracking. So, but this is how Alchemco had us apply it. My crew, being the smart, industrious guys they are, 2 of them have backgrounds in ag, so they are used to spraying. We came up with a system to do it out of one of our Bumblebee trucks, which is just a straight truck with a box van. So we came up with this. It's a modification on an ATV sprayer that we just started putting on our truck. We have since modified this truck again. It's not quite the same, but my guys don't like sitting around. They want to go. They want to do this. We're spraying at about 18 feet wide, and we have an overlap at center line. So, and this is another thing we were watching too. You can see in this video the 5-gallon buckets. That's how we first started. We have since switched to drums. We have also changed how our system operates a little bit. It's a little cleaner. The truck we have now is a little bit bigger than this one too. So, but this is them applying the chemical. As you can see, it's we had a little issue there, but it's the same kind of process. And then after it's applied, you have to wash it. Well, this is them guys washing the bridge. It's a homemade bar, and we have a generator that Brushland firefighters use, where we can modify the speed and the pressure and the volume. So we're at about half volume and pressure, which is around 45 pounds per square inch and around 45 gallons a minute. So, and like everything, that bar is now about 5 feet wider than what is in this video. So, very simple, easy product to use. Like I said, it hit all my goals. Very, very simple. This is my region and kind of where we've done it. Like I said, I'm trying to spread it out. We're in a trial phase. So I get some of the dry areas, I get some of the wet areas, I get the heavy snow, I get the cold. I'm trying to get it so that it works for our region. That's what I've been trying for. That's what I wanted. So this is just a map to show you guys where we've applied it. And I've been kind of heavy around the Brookings area. If anyone's interested, I think just about every bridge over there's got it. So the one downside to where I've been able to do this is I don't have any on the interstate main line. That's where my most traffic counts are. So I am lacking in that area, and I will be very upfront about that. I do have some bridges that have a high ADT, but not the speed. You know, they're lower speeds, but high volume, so kind of a trade-off. So what everyone always asks me is, what does it cost? So our polymer chip seals, and I use this one, it's a project that just got completed south of Aberdeen on Highway 20. 5 bridges, 1,400 square yards. Came out to be about $220 per square yard. I did take some things off to try and get it as even apples to apples as I could. Most of the time we do delamination repair before we put down a polymer chip seal. I took that out, trying to get it so it's even. The guys have been doing just spraying. We have not been doing spall repair. So So I've been using two products with this, the Bridge Deck Protectant Plus and the Bridge Deck Waterproofing Agent. The Protectant Plus is the 20-year service life. The Waterproofing Agent is the 25-year service life. You can kind of see the numbers up there. Average, and this includes my crew's time, their benefits, lunches, truck mileage, everything except for my time. And if you want to throw my time on there, you can probably throw maybe 20 cents a square yard. I just charged to a different function, so I didn't capture it. Average price came out to be $13.32 a square yard for the Protectant Plus and $16.29 per square yard. So I am at less than 10% cost. I've shown this to my region engineer, and he's like, let's do it. So, so far it looks good, at least on the cost end. So. Moving forward, I do plan to continue to do this. We will be doing some testing this next year. The first year, the 2020 project, we did not test. We have not tested it yet either. We wanted it to go through 3 winters. Winters out here tend to be kind of bad, you know. A lot of my bridge decks are also, they'll pre-treat with a salt brine mix, or they will spray, and some of them, depending on where the bridge is, they will put it on blast, which means the truck is unloading all the salt as fast as it can go. I've been on our maintenance crews about that do winter maintenance removal, about that. Just keep salting the same way you do a road, don't blast it. But anyway, we'll also be looking at crack sealing. Doing it in combination to a flood seal and a crack seal, just to try and extend our bridges out a little bit longer. And then I've asked that the Office of Bridge Design stop programming polymer chip seals in my region. This is the last year we've been doing what I call new polymer chip seals. So the existing bridge does not have a polymer chip seal, it's concrete. I want it to stay concrete, and my crew will start applying this. If it's currently got a polymer chip seal on it and the polymer chip seal wears out and we're not ready for a new concrete overlay or something like that, we've been going and redoing the polymer chip seal just because we'd have to do a lot of grinding and things like that. So, but like I said, I've been looking at ending what we currently have been doing and going to a different program. So. With that, are there any questions?
Do you know if your polymer chip seals were like polyester based or urethane based?
They are epoxy and polymer. We have 4 epoxy and 1 polymer on our approved products list.
Okay, thanks.
You said it creates a slurry after it rains. Do you guys have any skid friction issues with that? Any traction issues or tracking of cars off the deck with that?
We have not. This last winter was a really good test case. Most of my region was in the top 5 for snow for the year. We did not have any issues with that I'm aware of. As far as I'm aware of, also, it doesn't track. It's not pulling it out of the crack. It stays recessed down in the crack. So
I have a comment. In Louisiana, we did a test bridge that had a lot of cracking and efflorescence, and we thought, well, we're going to test this one because if it stops it, then maybe we'll try it other places. So it did stop it. It hasn't progressed, and we just let a project, and I think it's completed now, to do a major river crossing across the Red River. It's a segmental box girder, cast-in-place box girder bridge. We were having leaking into the boxes, so we used this product to seal that bridge deck. So I'll keep you updated on how that works out.
And that was the whole point of it, is just to keep the water off of our reinforcing steel. You know, most of it is epoxy coated rebar. Like I said, we'll see. We just started. I got my first stainless steel deck, so I'm kind of excited about that. But so far, I have not seen any progression of the efflorescence. It's stopped. It looks like it's drying up. You know, obviously it's my eyes versus what I remember 4 years ago. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
I had two questions for you. Did you guys do any skid resistance before and after?
Nope.
And then I see you did that treatment over a stripe. Did it last any longer? You know, the edge line, the pavement marking?
So I didn't take off any of our markings at all. It's a pain in the butt. And then I would have to coordinate with another crew. They don't like doing 300 feet and that's it, you know. So I chose to leave it on. So far, I have not noticed any issues with leaving my pavement markings. That's kind of what I got. Hard to say. We've only been doing it for 3 years. My markings are my markings. I can't really, you know, that isn't one thing I actually pay attention to, is what my markings look like. So I couldn't answer that question.
Josh, thanks for the presentation. I noticed when you know, the bar that you guys developed for the back of the truck, you don't actually do the gutter line or up the side of the barrier parapet. Have you thought about doing that now? Have you modified that?
We do not do the barrier. Our barriers are Class C commercial finish. So to penetrate through that, I don't know what I would need to do. I'd probably have to take it off, blast it clean, redo it, and then put another commercial finish back on. So we have not done any of the barriers. We have only done, like a polymer chip seal goes up about 1 inch at the gutter line onto the barrier or the curb. That's what I've had my crew do. So.
And then the other question I was going to ask is, what's the pressure of the water that you use to kind of blast the deck clean before you apply this? Is that high pressure or?
No, it's the same. It's the same as what I was showing you. What we use to wash. Like I said, it's a fire brushland fire compressor. So it pulls from something else. It goes up to 90 pounds at 90 gallons per minute. So best guess is we're right around that 45 psi, 45 gallons per minute ish. I've never measured it. It does what I want it to do. That's all I care about. So. Yep.
My question is towards your testing. What is your plans for testing?
That's a very good question. This man and Hadley get to decide that. So.
Did you do any cores on any of these decks prior?
No.
Okay.
Hadley has told me that he wants a core at a crack. So we will be aiming for cracks when we core. How deep we're going to core, I don't know. How many we're going to do, we haven't determined.
Okay. And then did you have to capture any of that water when you wash after with all the white suds?
Nope. It is the James River. It is a protected waterway. That's why I was looking at the environmental aspects of what we're doing. As far as I'm aware, this is environmentally friendly. I don't have to contain or anything like that. South Dakota is not, hasn't gotten that, I don't know what the word I want to use, strict. There we go.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? Sure.
Hold on.
Probably covered this. If I got used to it.
Oh, no, nobody else can hear if you don't.
That's probably a good thing. I just have a follow-up question. You probably covered this, but my attention span's only a couple of minutes. You said that when it gets wet, it gels up.
Yes.
So how do you clean out that equipment when you're done? What, you have to use special chemicals?
No. It is actually just soap and water. My crew goes back to my shop and we just power wash everything. It cleans up that easy.
So if somebody dumps Dawn liquid over your bridge, it's all gone when it rains?
Not that I'm aware of.
Just washes up with soap and water.
Yeah.
That's it.
The trucks will come back white. Like it looks like we just took a big old airbrush and we spray painted our trucks white. They'll power wash it and it'll be back to the school bus yellow.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
We've only had one instance where someone claimed that it would not clean up. It just happened this year. I actually offered the lady to come to the Brookings shop and we would power wash her vehicle for her. She declined, so we just had one claim. But that's the only instance I've actually had where it didn't clean up. And I don't know what they did. They claimed they ran it through a couple car washes and it wouldn't come off. Like I said, my guys power wash everything, it comes right off. So, quick, easy. I forgot my business cards, so don't ask me for them. They're sitting in Aberdeen. My contact information is up here, and if you need it. Okay.
What's your reasoning for not doing it on interstate bridges?
So it's a matter of when. Like I said, I was doing polymer chip seals for many, many years. Every mainline bridge on the interstate in my region has got a polymer chip seal on it. That's why. The chip seals are in decent condition. I'm not going to grind it off just to put this on. So I'm going to let them age out and then we'll see. Okay, thank you.